Welcome back, everyone. We're going to get into the second match of the night. Savjz is playing again. This time he's playing ThijsNL. The information on the decks and bans is in. You want to go over that, Impact?
Yeah, sure. Both players actually decided to ban each other's Warlock, which is not very surprising. Handlock is one of the most dominant decks right now in the tournament scene, even more dominant than Hunter, surprisingly. Although Hunter dominates on the ladder, tournament play has not been very strong for the Hunter, other than obviously the last series we just saw. But we will see a very interesting set between some Hunter, Warrior, and Shaman from Thijs, and again, Savjz has Hunter, Warrior, and Rogue. Do you have any?
Yeah, Savjz led with Rogue in the last one, but I feel Rogue doesn't do that well against the Warrior. It doesn't do very well against the Hunter at all. It's only good against the Shaman, so I feel you can't really lead with that, as more than likely you will run into something that'll knock you out. So I don't know. He might just run. I think a Warrior wouldn't be too bad. I mean, the Warrior mirrors whatever. The Hunter matchup is as good as it's going to get, and I don't think it's that terrible against the Shaman, is it?
The Shaman's a bit favored, but the Warrior can be favored. It depends on if the Warrior plays cards like Whirlwind, Baron Geddon, how many copies of Brawl the Warrior decides to play. And it looks like he started with the Rogue, and Thijs started out with his Hunter.
Okay, I'm curious to see how many players have adapted this new Tiger Hunter. I don't know exactly what the name is supposed to be, but that's the way I see things.
Oh, the deck is called Tiger Uppercut.
Tiger Uppercut. Oh, well, looks like Savjz loses.
God bless. Look at this hand. Undertaker, Leper Gnome, and
It's a 1-2-3. The 1-2-3. Oh my god, there's more.
Stop, it hurts.
I actually don't think Savjz can win. I think this is one of those, you know, when you play Hunter, you like roll a die, and when you get the 6, you just get the game, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, but his hand actually isn't that bad to deal with this. He's got Backstab SI.
The Backstab draw is huge. That actually lets him deal with the 3-4 Undertaker on turn 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he's got a good follow-up. He's got Fan of Knives, he's got Farseer, and he's got Gadgetzin with Conceal. This game could go either way, man.
I think we're gonna see the bow come out and kill the SI though, because you want to juggle when you can pop both your Haunted Creepers, I feel.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And using the bow to kill the 3-3 is a pretty big tempo play. And Thijs has got a very strong board. Having the bow equipped is like not much better for the Hunter. It doesn't get much better.
Well, here, what do? Do you go for Miracle Juggles? Juggle? I think I'd go for Juggle.
It's 4 shots and you already deal 1, right?
I mean, that's 50-50. You got some insurance, like if all those go face, like how bad is that really?
Man, it's not that bad. Times would be tough, but it wouldn't be that tough, man. It's got the bow for the cleanup too, if it misses. He could play it safe and play Haunted Creeper and Ping, and just kill it with the bow, but I feel like the bow's a bit more important, especially if he draws those secrets. And he's going for the juggles. And there goes 1.
Oh, the first one's already there. This is pretty much a guarantee. Yeah.
Get it.
That is so brutal.
And then 2 to the face for good measure. Wow, he's got the hand that can't clean it up though.
Not this turn, though. He doesn't have the
attack
weapon.
1. Ooh, the backstab comes a little late, but he can still kill one of these jugglers with.
That's so much damage, though.
It is, but he's got 21 life. It's a pretty high life total, I think. The Hunter player is running out of cards.
Well, he does have the Gadgetzin Conceal, and if if he gets like some miracle draws, preps, and deadly poisons and that kind of stuff, you know.
Miracle is as miracle does, man. Let's see what happens.
Actually, he only needs a prep, because he can backstab the creeper.
Would you backstab the creeper though? That seems very, very risky. Could just take out the leper gnome, but I guess you don't even save any damage. But you actually give your opponent a damage if you backstab. I
Well,
think you
how
might
else
have
do
to
you get rid of that? You think you have to do 2 clears?
I think you might just have to do all this turn. It's way too risky.
Here we go.
Yeah. I think he's counting his damage, and then he realizes.
I think that's your only chance. I think you backstab, hope to get prep. I think that's your 1-win condition, and your Gadgetson graciously accepts 2 knives to the face.
Yeah, you have to hope those knives hit the Gadgetson, or it's just too much damage. Well, he can't face tank the juggler. He needs the dagger up for the Blade Fury if he makes it to next turn.
Okay, well.
Okay.
Apparently he can
this.
face tank the juggler.
I can get behind this.
No, I think he's screwed. You just can't win in that few turns with this much mana.
No. There's no way you can win at this point. His hero power is just gonna clock him down. You hit with the bow here, just because you can draw another bow, I think. Yeah. And he has to clear the board and heal. Oh, this game's over.
He can clear the board and it won't kill him. Like, he just attacks with the gadgets into the creeper and triggers a Blade Flurry.
There's so many cards he can draw here.
Well,
so
he doesn't.
Command.
Yeah, but I mean, if you heal for 3, that doesn't really do anything right now.
I suppose so. At this point, you're already so far gone, though. Do you sap and try and go for a Blade Fury? And then... Yeah, actually, if you do that, you can do the Cold Blood.
No, that's... Oh, I see.
Yeah. He's got to try and do this. It's the only winning play.
Oh, what do
Does he have...
the web spinners deliver?
Timberwolf
Web
and another web
spinners.
spinner.
That's pretty terrible. Or is it? Oh man. Oh, I mean, he's got 8. He's got the deadly poison eviscerate 3, 7, 9. I think Savjz has lethal. Yeah, with the Cold Blade, he definitely has lethal. Savjz won this one.
Wow, he turned it around. Gotta go with the gadgets.
He didn't really need a heal there.
Well,
but you're right. You're right that the sap was important, because if he didn't use the sap, he would have to use the Gadgeton's attack into the 1/2, and that was not going to work.
So I guess it sort of was a heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's lethal.
Oh my god. Well, you have to be happy if you're Savjz here. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to win this one.
Well, when you put the 2 nuttiest decks in Hearthstone.
I mean,
that's for sure.
Dice rolled a 6 on the Hunter. That's a win.
Yeah, but he rolled a 7 on the Miracle Rogue.
Oh man. Well, I guess that's what you needed. You got to roll a 7 on a 6-sided die to win.
Yep.
All right. Well, Thijs drops the Hunter, and what else did he have? He had the Shaman and the Warrior because his Warlock was banned.
Yeah.
So 2 pretty favorable decks. Like, I don't think he'd be too sad with either one. But we're going to give him some time to think the decision over. We're going to take a few minutes here until we get into the next match, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, we're back. We're going to head into game 2. If you missed it, game 1, Savjz took with his Miracle Rogue. Just again, pushing for damage. I mean, Cold Blood face hits with Conceal and crazy stuff. I mean, it looks plain, but it's pretty effective. But I gotta say, I much rather see players play Miracle Rogue all day long than hit that Hunter hero power while playing Death Rattle minions to support the Undertaker.
You mean to support the hero power?
The Undertaker. Yeah. Well, this is the matchup against the Warrior. This is usually going to come down to a pretty exciting finish where Savjz really needs to, pull off a miracle. Basically, he's pretty much running a clock because the more armored the Warrior gets, you kind of hit that point where you almost run out of damage. With Conceals and with Cold Bloods, as he's been winning the last few matches, I feel that may not work in some scenarios with brawls and that kind of cards from the Warrior.
Yeah, I think the Rogue needs to draw Auctioneer in this matchup to win. It's one of those matchups where you need the card draw because the Warrior has so many defensive options that you need absolutely every resource that you can to win.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that attack into the Ghoul? Probably to set up a Shiv kill?
Yeah, Shiv kill makes sense here. Next turn he's going to just redagger, so that's fine, just giving up the 2 dagger charges right there anyway.
I don't like giving any cards to the Warrior though. I feel that's really painful.
He didn't have much option though. Couldn't just leave the thing alive. He was already committed to the play.
Mm-hmm.
The Acolyte is looking very good here.
And his hand deals with a lot of the smaller creatures that generally in a Miracle Rogue seem to be fairly irrelevant, but Savjz has been pretty much using those smaller creatures to push for that extra bit of damage that he needs to set up lethal the turns after. So, I don't know. Savjz, I think, does actually have a fairly long game ahead right now.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't have much going on in terms of damage in his hand. But coining out the Azure Drake is a good start. Deals 4 to the opponent, draws a card.
What do you think of the play here to use the Death Spite instead of the Fiery War Axe Whirlwind?
I think you just need to get the Death Spite on because a lot of the Miracle Rogue creatures have 4 or 5 health, like the Lotheb, the Azure Drake, the Gadgetzan. Makes a lot of sense to just use the Death Spite. It also gives you a bunch of armor and some cards. So I can see where he's going.
I feel the Whirlwind would be better there because you get the armor up in addition to getting the armor from it.
Yeah, and any chance you get to use the Whirlwind effectively this matchup is probably a good idea. It's not going to be doing much else.
Brawl is quite nice. I did hear that whenever you have an Armor Smith on board and you Brawl, it actually always picks the Armor Smith. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think it's programmed into the game. It's just one of those Warrior tricks. It's in the
so this looks like a pretty good setup play for that.
Yeah, he's got the Brawl Armor Smith combo. And Harrison Jones came out actually destroying a deadly poison weapon, which is very huge in this matchup.
I feel like destroying the Assassin's Blade, which is, I don't know if it's in this one, but it's frequently in the Rogue decks, is even more important as those repetitive hits seem to be crucial to the Rogue doing enough damage.
Yeah, for sure. But do we know if he's playing Assassin's Blade? We didn't see it in any of the previous sets.
He hasn't actually pulled off much of miracles, though. I mean, we haven't really seen most of the deck.
Last game was a miracle.
Yeah, but he didn't really draw that many cards from the Auctioneer.
Very true. What do you think is Savjz's best option here? Do you think it's just playing the Sylvanas? And just getting more damage on the board? Or Heiss's best option against Savjz, sorry. Yeah. Pushing for damage is good. And he's got Grom with the Whirlwind next turn. Man, oh
Savjz is
man, that sounds like
running out of life very quickly. Actually, Savjz is probably dead. I mean, even if you sap one thing, you're still dead.
If he saps the Sylvanas and trades into the Harrison Jones and then plays Lothep, he's not dead, but he's got one life essentially. So he's
Well, no,
pretty dead.
I think the play is to kill off the Armorsmith, sap the Sylvanas, and maybe do like a backstab SI or something like that to the Harrison.
Well, at the end of the day, we just need to make sure the board is absolutely clear this turn, I think. Do you think
I just don't see him winning at all. Like, yeah, okay, you survive the turn, then you gotta deal with the Grom, there's a Sylvanas in hand, there's a Ragnaros, there's a Brawl if you somehow get an Auctioneer on the... There's just no way you win. Like, no way.
Yeah, there's literally no way he wins here. But he does get to play a big Van Cleave.
Which will die shortly to execute.
Life's rough. Would you go for the Brawl or just like another clear? Because he's not going to get much value out of the Brawl.
No, the play here is good. You slam the Drake, you hit the 3/3, and you execute the Cleefster.
Yeah, and you get to play Belcher. Overall, not bad.
Yep. It does delay your Grom thing a couple turns, but I just feel like nothing has been happening on Savjz's side of the board.
Yeah, and he's running out of cards. When the Miracle's running out of cards, there's just not a lot of options either way. And dealing with Belcher is actually one of the biggest pains for Miracle Rogue. Lothep does do a pretty good job of keeping on the board. And next turn he's got Gadgetzin, which could be huge. Could be very huge.
I think you just Ragnaros, you don't care what it hits. And what are you gonna do with Gadgetzin from this point? You already used a prep too.
Yeah, that's true. Ah, this is not looking good.
Cold blood into nothing, into concede. Yeah.
Into concede.
Well, sometimes the Rogue vs Warrior matchup ends with a very close, out of cards type of finish from the Rogue. But in other cases, like this one, you gotta feel for Savjz. I mean, nothing happened on his side of the board. The Warriors opener was just very strong. It held off the early few creatures. It drew a few extra cards. Then when the big stuff comes out, if nothing's going on Savjz's side, on the Rogue side, then yeah, you're just helpless. And we saw exactly that. So tied up again. Savjz will face the Warrior with either his own Warrior or his Hunter. And we haven't seen his Hunter yet. I'm curious if he does use the Tiger Uppercut version. We'll have to see, but for now we're going to take a quick break, let Savjz decide, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
ocean waves and try to come to life. Don't let go of the bright blue sky, because the future's looking far too light. Are you ready for a long dive ship to set sail and carry me through the starry night? Dream of me whenever you are feeling oh so lonely.
And we're back. We gotta see the next match here, Savjz versus Thijs. We're going to see something run into a warrior. Do you think it's gonna be Hunter? I feel like your chances are a bit better just pulling off the warrior mirror.
You think so? I actually think the Hunter matchup isn't all that bad. I think if the Hunter can get a good snowball, it could be good. But
well, it's warrior. Get ready for some armor up. These matches tend to go the distance sometimes. From what I've seen, the early game is fairly irrelevant. It's just who gets those sticky legendaries first.
I've also seen these games go to fatigue a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's, very scary.
I remember playing like the Control Warrior when it was just starting to be popular. This is like January. And the secret tip would be just don't let the other warrior have any armor. And
you think that still remains to be a key here?
Not as much. I feel like Death's Bite kind of swings that a little bit more, and I feel you lose a lot of control over that with the Sludge Belchers. Like in the first iterations of the Control Warrior, you wouldn't have any taunts in the deck. Armor up.
Armor pass. Armor pass.
Oh man, do you play a ghoul? You do not.
No.
Yeah, as you were talking about, like, the early game is just kind of irrelevant. Even though you want to shave off that armor, it doesn't actually work very well. You get the Death's Bite hit to the face. Take 4 armor off. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad, not bad.
Very, very strategic. I have to say, even though it seems like a very clumsy matchup with just armor up the whole time, I feel like these type of mirrors do very frequently, maybe even most frequently, lead into some pretty epic games. And I'm a bit excited here.
Oh yeah, for sure. It comes down to a big legendary war.
Oh, the ghoul goes down. Can you draw an Acolyte here? Holy cow.
No.
No Acolyte. Oh, he's waiting for it. Yeah, but what if your opponent has the Acolyte? I guess you can silence it?
Yeah, with that owl. Very nice tech there. Most people use the Spellbreaker. I like the owl a lot more.
I like the owl in a lot of the faster decks, but I feel like the warrior 4-drop is like whatever. Like you have Death's Bite and that's it, right? I mean, I feel like the Spellbreaker kind of hits the mana curve a bit on the warrior, making it a bit better against control.
Well, it might be better against control, but in this very aggressive meta, you might want to have the owl to come down on turn 2 to silence an Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
To be very clutch. So we see the hit for 1, armor up, and pass.
Oh, there we go. Nope. We're gonna have to be greedy with that armor. Funny enough, that was actually a great draw, because if he didn't draw some like garbage creature like that, he would he'd actually have to play out something less optimal, as I think that was his 10th card.
Yeah, well, now he's in that position again. Might have to play the owl on the armor smith here.
Oh my god.
Well, there's a shield block. Both players roughly at 1,000,000 life.
Well, I guess you give your opponent a little bit more armor there. That's good. It seemed like it was getting a little bit low there. Now we're just about tied up at 45 life. And one Fiery War Axe apiece.
We're at 44 to 45, man.
Alright, well, we actually see the first real creature hit the board from Thijs' side with the Belcher. Honestly, in terms of the legendary play, this actually doesn't do too much. Like, it doesn't really stop much. But it does make the weapon pretty useless, which generates a lot more armor. And it does actually chip into Savjz's armor, while Thijs has his protected from it. So even though it doesn't actually impact the game immediately, it kind of does swing it one way.
We might even see some removal here, which is huge on the using a shield slam like that on that team. If only you could shield slam in the face, man.
Yeah, then you'd almost cut through your opponent's armor.
Almost.
That's a pretty real draw.
Oh yeah, for sure. Would you feel
I think it Ragnar's before Alistraza just to get that armor off.
Oh yeah, for sure. It makes your shield slams better, but he does have 9 mana, so.
Okay.
And you just saw your opponent use a shield slam on your Belcher, so getting down to Alistraza to chip away at armor does make a lot of sense here.
Oh wow.
Oh, but his opponent's the one with the armor smith.
Yep. I guess playing the Acolyte had no sense there because the Armorsmith was going to win anyway.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You just wasted your Acolyte for nothing.
That's too bad. Well, Savjz is looking in a very bad spot right now. I mean, he's got Geddon, which is basically nothing right now. He's got Alistraza, but he can't hit the board with it, and when he does, that shield slam's going to hit Alistraza. So, I mean, he at the same time, he doesn't have much in the way of answers to Thijs' hand, which includes a Ragnar's, which I feel is the most effective card right now. I would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Add even Fiery War Axe face. Like, do you really need to go to 21 armor?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, you do.
You don't. Nope. He's going with my play. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, this is good because even if he has the second shield slam, it doesn't actually kill Ragnar's.
Yeah, and how many shield blocks did we see? I think we saw. Ooh, but that was a huge draw.
Good draw. He had no way prior to that draw to trigger execute.
Other than taking 8.
Mm-hmm. But still, I mean, this position just kind of sucks still. I mean, you kind of got to develop a weapon, I feel. I mean, yeah, your opponent has 50 life, but it's not going to come down by itself. Oh, apparently, he thinks it might. We'll see. I'm curious to see this.
You can't just play Sylvanas, I think. It's your most important legendary in this matchup.
Yeah, but even still, like, look at all the answers in this hand, like...
Oh yeah, for sure. Answer
this
to
just
answer.
doesn't... Yeah, it just doesn't have anything playable right now. I mean...
Do you play the Baron Geddon?
I don't know. The first good thing that Savjz plays is just gonna get stolen with Sylvanas, if not just killed straight up with a shield slam. Actually, I think you would just shield slam it.
Well, with that much of a life lead, I think it'd be fine to just shield slam it for sure. But the more aggressive play...
No! You have enough! Oh, okay.
Apparently he doesn't.
Well, if you could shield slam face, Thijs would have roughly 52 damage here. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Do you think he goes with the execute here?
Yeah,
the shield slam's gonna be a lot
you committed
better, right?
with the slam. I just feel the the shield slams are always going to be effective. Like, you have so much armor that, like, probably until the end of the game, you can use shield slam as 1 mana removal to anything. And I think that'll let you swing the game more than execute will.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Savjz is setting up that deadly Gromash combo, which, if he's lucky, will do almost half of ThijsNL's armor total.
Almost half. It got countered.
I think that was drawn though, wasn't it? I didn't catch that. Okay, so
top deck the Harrison.
all right.
Belonged in a museum, so he sent it there. So he's got 19 life. He's got a Grom activator. He's only 9 away from lethal, which is a lot for a warrior, I think.
But that is pretty interesting that even though ThijsNL is winning quite decisively, he has drawn through much more of his deck than Savjz has. And I think now's a pretty good turn for Baron Geddon. I mean, how much better are you going to get against another warrior?
No, for sure he's going to slam it down here. But giving your opponent 2 more cards with the Acolyte is just so rough. So rough.
I feel like right now they're not actually playing like the card game. They both have enough cards that they can't play them out right away. I actually have to disagree. I feel like it doesn't even matter how many cards are drawn here.
Well, it's going to come down to who has
minus 29. He went for the GM shield slam there. He could have done a 31, but ThijsNL was kind to the Geddon.
Didn't want to. For sure.
I think Savjz is thinking of using an owl here.
You can't use the owl because then it's no longer a taunt.
Oh, that's right. What was I thinking?
I guess you coin out the Belcher here. The coin's not going to do anything in your hand.
Yeah.
Maybe he's fearing a Black Knight from his opponent.
And Black Knight's a very common card.
Ooh. Very interesting to note that Tice is running both Harrison Jones and Ooze in his warrior deck.
I think here you Death Spite Sylvanas and just go YOLO face. Set up for a lethal next turn with Gromash.
I like that, yeah.
What other card are you waiting to draw in your deck?
None. Yeah, and it's worked out very nicely. He's only got but the second Belcher, I think, keeps him in the game. Because before he could just shield slam.
Yeah.
Play the Grom attack and whirlwind.
He might not play it though. No, he doesn't. That's still enough to keep him in the game, I think. I think he's at 1.
Yeah, he's at exactly 1 life. To his opponent's Grom plus 40 some odd life. 48 life. Man, oh man.
Is there a way through this? No. You can't get that ooze hit in.
No, no way. So what, do you set up for better play next turn? Like you Spellbreaker and then you play Lotheb or something?
Well, if you do the Lotheb play, you actually still have lethal if your opponent only does the 2 armor up and doesn't play a taunt. So it's like the safer play. But like, how safe do you need to be with 50 life right now?
Well, it's like a setting up lethal play. If he throws away his Grom and then it gets executed after, he's got no real way to kill him.
Excuse me. I'm invincible.
And Savjz has to know what's going on right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And I think
Belcher
he chose to kill off his creatures there just to minimize the chance that Brawl would take his one taunt away. Because I think you could have traded a little more efficiently there. Keep more creatures at lower life, but... Oh, actually the axe would have just finished them off too. So what does it matter? But
yeah,
I do believe this is game. Yeah, the Shield Slam picks off the Belcher for 33, enrages the Gromash, and Thijs takes the Warrior Mirror. I have to say it lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. I mean, those owls we talked about really just sat in the hand the whole time.
I think he was saving it for his opponent's Sylvanas, which never came down.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to even, like, what would you even say the turning point in that match was? You think it was just the first Alistraza play and the fact that Thijs drew into his legendaries earlier than Savjz did?
Well, yeah, he was able to knock off all that armor with the Ragnaros.
Mm-hmm.
That made a huge difference.
Because my point of view is, like, Thijs played through all of his cards quite decisively, except, you know, the second Shield Slam until the very end, and the Sylvanas, which I guess you save until you need it. But you got to keep in mind that, like, Savjz sat on double owl a lot of that game. He sat on one owl, I think, the whole game. So, like, we don't know his deck right now. What do you think he actually took out of the normal warrior deck to fit in 2 owls? Because I know even when warriors run Spellbreaker, they run just the one copy generally.
I think he might have had to sacrifice some of his late game. Some stuff like Cairn maybe came out.
Yeah.
Ysera.
Alright, well, we're going to take a quick break on before the last game. Well, we don't know if it's the last game, but possibly Savjz's last game. He is down 2-1. Thijs is in the lead, and Savjz is going to have to rely on Hunter to pull it through. And, well, that's certainly possible. He said it was the class he would have picked in his position earlier. But, well, we'll have to see. Hunter versus Warrior is not always the easiest match for Hunter. So we'll be back, and we'll see how that goes down then.
Surface of my heart, the feelings never gone. A brave adventurer like me, members everywhere that I've come from. Keep your feet to the vacuum sky, cause it's surrounding us out here. Follow the trail of the stardust of the ones that came before us, and we'll see what we've always been. Dream of me whenever you are feeling oh so lonely. Try to leave your fears behind. We are locked in an orbit racing round the dots of newly worlds that make a ride. Keep your eyes on me.
Hey guys, we're back. We're going to see the fourth match between Savjz and Thijs here in just a moment. Thijs is up 2-1. Savjz has to rely on his hunter to defeat not only Thijs' warrior, but also his shaman. Now, we know that against the warrior, it's not the worst matchup. It's not great. There's certainly better ones, but it's winnable. What do you think about Shaman? A lot of people are saying that the the Doomhammer, the double Doomhammer deck that has recently come to be a little bit popular does seem to kill the Hunter faster than the Hunter can kill the Shaman. So how do you feel that matchup might end up if that is the case?
I think that matchup comes a lot to the Shaman's draws. If the Shaman doesn't draw Feral Spirits, the game could be over very quickly. The Hunter can just roll away with the game. Ooh, looks like we got a very strong opening here.
Yeah, but you got that Fiery War Axe which takes care of that very strong opening.
Wow. Just saw that, yeah. Yeah, anyway, the Shaman match, you draw Spirits and Argus. If you don't draw Feral Spirits and Argus, the Hunter can just roll away with the game. And if the Hunter draws Eaglehorn Bow, it's very hard, even if you draw Feral Spirits.
I think here you absolutely coin it, because the Undertaker is so scary coming from a Hunter. On the second turn it might be like 2 Web Spinners or Leopard Gnomes, and then it's out of range already, and that early damage that you take can mount up to so much.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to coin up the War Axe here. Well, Mad Scientist comes down, chooses to kill it. Armor's up, passes. So far, everything's going according to plan.
For the warrior.
Yeah.
I think you double creature here. I think you Juggler Web Spinner. Yep.
Especially with that Snake Trap, yeah.
I actually didn't see, are you sure it is a Snake Trap?
Yeah, you hovered over it.
Okay. Well, that Juggler's probably going to die to a Shield Slam, I'd imagine.
For sure.
It is a bit of a problem for warriors to deal with high mains, but I'm not sure if those are in Savjz's deck. And from what we saw of the Hunter deck of Ignite, I think those are the cards that are dropped for the Tigers. So yeah, that may not be the case anymore.
Well, I think you have to get rid of the Juggler 100%. That card can just roll away with the game, much like an Undertaker can. Goes for the Hunter Creeper hero power.
What else can you do there? I mean, you flare or play a creature. It's pretty easy play. I think generally from this point on, there's a fairly low amount of decision making from the Hunter.
Yeah, he's gonna have like max 3 cards a turn. Not a lot of decision making from from either side actually. The warrior has to react, and the hunter has to be proactive or not do anything. Ooh, Animal Companion.
Leok, that doesn't really do it.
Nope. But he does get 6 damage in this turn. Could make a difference. Really depends on what cards the warrior draws from here on out. But 2 Belchers is pretty big.
Well, we know those Belchers are actually not going to work very well. I think the first one's going to die to Kill Command, and then the leftover is going to die to the Creeper. But I think here you just see what your options are. I think you kill the Web Spinner with the Acolyte now.
He's testing what secret it is first.
Oh, that's right. The secret is still up. That would have been quite bad if that had popped.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of 2-1 snakes. Very scary.
Well, he does have the Brawl to clean that up quite well.
Yeah, that's true. Plays the Kill Command here.
I think here you might actually not play anything.
You think you'd be committing too much into a Brawl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
makes
think
sense.
you have to use that hero power.
Yeah, you have to use that hero power every turn against the warrior.
And I also think I wouldn't attack with Leok here. If he didn't want to kill your web spinner, he's not going to want to kill your other dude. I think Leok at 4 health might just be what's saving him right now. And
Yeah,
in
for
fact,
sure.
that's exactly the case against this land.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's got to keep it out of execute range as well. He doesn't have very many high priority execute targets.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think he's thinking so much about this?
Maybe he doesn't want to get a spider popped by the acolyte. Maybe he wants to make the trap look like a freezing trap instead of just a trap. Well,
Okay.
see if he commits the creature or plays the hero power.
Hero power it is.
Well, the hunter's got a very strong board, but the brawl is very, very real.
Well, you have the Brawl, you have the Taunt, and you have the Alistraza. And I feel like in the more bursty Hunter decks, the Alistraza often doesn't work, but I think in this game it will, because Savjz is kind of out of steam at this point.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Let's see if this second Belcher is more impactful. Ooh, tracking. Well,
I think you Houndmaster here quite easily.
yeah.
Even though the Unleash should be a bit more damage, because it's 4 rather than 2.
Yeah, I think Houndmaster is very strong here. Gets through the Belcher quite easily. Opts
Yeah.
to trade the web spinner first. Yep.
That's correct.
See what you. Yep. See what you can draw. You think you would rather the random beast versus two 2/1 spiders? I think at this point it could come down to something like that. His opponent's already so low. It's like you could just trade the web spinner here and get 2/1 spiders.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we
Well,
know
this is-
we know this play is right.
yeah, we know it's right because of the brawl, but could be a difference because he doesn't have any damage in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So all the damage on the board is what's
Like,
really good.
if you look at the board from Thijs's position here, like everything's just kind of like a bit out of range. Like, if you want to brawl, you have to snake trap first. If you want to proc the snake trap, now you gotta kill off your acolyte. Doesn't even kill the Leok. So, like, to really make it work, you have to play another creature. You have to like armor smith, attack, and then brawl. Oh man, I mean.
Yeah, all of these options are really weak. Slamming the Leok is for sure the right play though. There's no other real play, I think. You have to gain some life back, and this basically buys him 6 life.
I think you have to brawl here though. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a whole new game if the acolyte wins the brawl.
And a whole new one if the Houndmaster does.
Well, it'd be the same game, honestly.
Oh, Snake makes it.
It's like the average result, yeah. And you play a bunch of guys, not your opponent play brawl.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Well, you don't have any Belchers left, but if you can survive a turn, you could get a few more with Alistraza. So I think this is still fairly good. I think here you maybe axe down the
River Croc?
No, I think you axe down the 2/2. Okay. I think I would have killed the Mad Scientist to try to get a Snake Trap active.
Well, a lot of these lists only play one snake trap. The other trap is usually freezing trap.
I've seen a lot of lists with the double snake, one freeze.
Really?
Yeah. Have you
That's
seen the
true.
opposite with a double freeze, one snake?
Yeah, that's what I see a lot more on the ladder on
Mhm.
NA. But these are EU players, so you could have a different meta. Okay, so he pushes damage here, gets in a hero power. If you play a Leper Gnome, he's essentially at 2 life, but 4 life with armor. And you can't really do much about it. Like his opponent's Alex Jawsley, can't really do anything about it.
No. Well, here the play is pretty simple. You use Death's Bite to attack the 1-2. You do that first,
Yep.
so you lose the life.
Yeah, and then you heal back up.
He's actually saving the Leper Gnome, which is kind of smart. I mean, we know if he uses it, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Alright. So you go down to 3 life, you gain 2 armor from the transaction, then you go to 15. So you end the turn with 17 life, complete board control, Armor Smith, and Alistraza. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's very strong. Opting to hold the Leper Gnome here actually made a big difference. Well, not that big of a difference, but... Oh! And his opponent probably got a freezing trap. But it could be a snake.
Yeah, there's no... Oh, there's double snake in the deck. And that has to be a freezing trap because he played both of them.
Yep, there's the freezing. You can just gain a ton of life this turn as well. Hits 8. Taskmaster the Leper Gnome. Plays 2 Armor Smiths. And then gains some life.
That shield block, I think, puts him completely out of range at this point.
Who knows, man? He could top deck 2 King Crushes in a row. Yeah, I think that's it, pretty much.
I don't think there are draws that save him.
No.
Like even if you rolled Huffer, Kill Command, what can you get after that? Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Your opponent's at 20 life, you have 3 cards in your hand.
Well, Savjz goes down. Gotta be a little bit slow here. He does get the taunt, which is completely meaningless. And he gets a web spinner. And I believe he's gonna have to Kill Command the 2/2 to stay alive. Or the 1/1. Oh, look at that. That's a play.
Fills out his curve perfectly.
That is a tournament play, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so I mean that kind of sucks for Savjz. He is out. He lost his set against Thijs, and he lost his set against Ignite. And coming up, we're going to see Ignite again versus the last player in the group, Caldy. And we know that Savjz cannot advance from this group. If we see Ignite beat Caldy, I think Ignite automatically goes through. And again, Caldy has already played Savjz, but we don't actually know the outcome of that. We have no idea. So you know, there's a few hidden things. That match will probably be cast tomorrow at the scheduled end of the day 3 broadcast. But until then, we'll have to see. So what do you think of those games? Hunter pulls through for one guy, not so much for the other guy. But we saw the Tiger uppercut kind of play a factor. I mean, the Tigers, the Lothebs, that seemed to make the difference against the Warrior. You think not having those Tigers puts you further behind against the Warrior decks? Because the Warrior decks seem to be fairly homogenous.
Oh yeah, for sure. You need some sort of finishing card there, whether it's Tiger or Imane. Really depends on the player. but you definitely need something to put in those last couple damage in. Because like you can get an early lead, as we saw. He was at like 3 life before he healed up, and something like a Tiger or a Hymen would have made all the difference in those games.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we'll have to see what goes down in the last match of the night. But until then, we're going to take a break for a short while. We'll probably be another 6 minutes as we were in between the last sets. And yeah, we'll see what goes down when we come back.